Yeah, she's got some nice long hair.
Welcome back to the Unbearable Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Barron. Joining me, as always, Mr. Johnny PayPal, back from his birthday day off. Make sure to like and subscribe out there on YouTube. Make sure to rate 5 stars out on the podcast app of choice. And also search for Unbearable Sports and add us. And last but not least, if you're a sports bettor, use promo code Unbearable at betus.com for 125% back off of your first deposit. Today, we're breaking down what the Bears, what Chicago has proposed to the Bears. This was around 2 weeks ago or so, but let's bring it up and let's talk about it. Show it off for those that haven't seen it. And for those listening, it's down in the description. And also talk about our dream stadium. So that, I think that's the big thing. I kind of want to build the dream stadium, but first, PayPal, how are you, my friend?
Doing pretty good, Brad. Yeah, the whole birthday weekend, a lot of fun. Yesterday was kind of a rough day, getting up and, a little groggy, a little hung, but hey, we pulled through. Thankfully, I had no obligations yesterday, so I was able to just recover, play video games, drink lots of water. So that was nice, but hey, also just getting excited for the stadium and what they could possibly do got me also just a lot happier and got me in the mood. So I'm excited, and I'm excited to see what they do. And whatever decision they make, I mean, I trust in Kevin Warren. I mean, it seems like he's proved that it seems like he knows what he's doing and all that.
Yeah, and I think too, a lot of this, I don't believe that either of us feel like the Bears would actually stay in Chicago, but we will see if that does change with this new display, because especially when Kevin Warren, the first thing that he says, or one of the first things, is I'm 100% focused on the move to Arlington Heights.
Right.
It's kind of like, all right, for that to be one of your first statements that you say, and then be like, nah, actually, we're not going to do that. Like, I don't think you would ever want to do that. But, and also too, just want to throw this out here before we go further. I will do a separate recap of the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl, just kind of recapping that. Not a lot of cool stuff happened. It's going to probably be the shortest ever podcast that we've done on this show. But it's going to be real quick. I could do it here, but we'll wait for another one and add that out there. But PayPal, so like we were saying, they showed this stadium. They had a 3D rendering of this that I'll be showing on YouTube. Like I said, people listening, it's just a link down in the description. You can click on that and it takes you out to what they proposed. And really some of the big changes, for those that don't even click on it or listen later, it's really like the glass roof on the top, right? It's a dome. And then it seems like they're building around it. They're adding a whole bunch of extra pieces. They're also building around the stadium with a transit area. So hopefully that makes it a little bit easier to get in and out of the stadium. A common complaint from fans. I personally have only been to Soldier Field once, and we were at a hotel really close to it. So we just literally walked. And so for us, it was easy. But for everyone else that has to go there, very challenging is what we've heard. But also to an entertainment district. They want to build up out there. So really kind of build kind of the more modern feel where you have other things that are going on. You can have year-round concerts. You can have food. You can have, you name it, you can have different pieces out there. And also the big question, the columns still are in the stadium as a whole in kind of its own separate little area. But PayPal, we still have the video playing in the background as we go through, but what was like your initial thoughts? And like we said, does this sway your opinion? How did you feel about it?
I think it swayed my opinion. I was surprised they were able to whip up something like this. I don't know how long it took them to whip this thing up, but it definitely makes a case for like the people that are like, hey, let's just keep it in Chicago. Let's not put, the Chicago Bears in Arlington Heights. It makes a big case for those fans out there that really wanted to keep it in Chicago. Because like you're saying, it just has all the cool amenities that these new stadiums, like, like SoFi Stadium has, where it's not like you're just going there and watching football. You can go there, you can have an experience. I know, the owner, he was just talking about how he wants to make wherever it is, he wants to make it like a Disneyland experience.
Yeah.
And I think this video shows like this would be a one in a lifetime experience. So with all these entertainment features, all that stuff. So it looks freaking cool. And it almost makes me like now kind of like I don't care, where it goes, honestly. As long as they do some renovations, because this Soldier Field now, it's just known as one of the worst fields in the NFL, like smallest stadium, so old. It's obviously it's historic, but it's just you just gotta get rid of it.
Yeah, and I'm right there with Jerome Munoz in the comments. It's like what they showed to me, Chicago, this is the best thing that they could do. This is the best thing that they could propose.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to sell the stadium to the Bears then. Like they need to sell it, because this is like if you owned this amazing company and you could have all this money, like millions of dollars, and you're threatening to leave your company, and they're like, but we'll pay you $100,000. And you're like, but over here I can make 10 times as much, because that's what they're leaving on the table. And I hate saying it because I do like the idea of it being in Chicago, but it's a business. It's a business.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make a good business decision, even though that this is an incredible mock-up. And honestly, I think the city of Chicago should do this, because this just upgrades the entire Soldier Field. It makes it amazing. And we don't live in Chicago, so we don't have to pay taxes for it. Because I can't imagine the taxes. I don't want to think about that. But what they propose is incredible. But when they move, and I'm using the term when, Arlington Heights, if I'm the Bears, I'm copying and pasting this idea and being like, thanks for this, and just using this, because I think it's incredible. I love what they have out here, and you build it over there. You build something similar out there, because like you alluded to, this really checks a lot of the boxes of what you want in a modern stadium. And yeah, it has the retractable glass that shows off the city of Chicago, has a stage in the back. It's a wonderful idea for Arlington Heights.
Yeah. That's the one thing. It would look so cool in the city of Chicago. That's my thing. Like, imagine this with the skyline in the background.
Yeah.
And they're still going to be able to take the blimp shots. I know people are like, oh, we're going to have the blimp shots of, the Chicago skyline and stuff. They're still going to take those blimp shots. They do it for any other city that doesn't, any other stadium that's not in their, in their city. So, but yeah, it looks freaking incredible. It seems like, yes, it's going to be in Arlington Heights, but, I don't know what you're going to do with that. I mean, it's incredible.
And Jeremy Munoz, again, like saying good points. He's saying, where's the parking? And yeah, like they show, you can get in here on the metro and get in here on the train. But yeah, they're still like, where's the parking? I agree. And that's where it's like, even if you sell this, and this is where it's almost like a tease to the Bears. They show all these entertainment districts around the stadium. Bears aren't seeing a dime. The Chicago Cubs, Rickettsville, as we know, around Wrigleyville, they bought that out. And baseball is definitely different because it is all about the dollars that you're bringing in. But still, like, the Bears need to run this like a business. They need to have something big. And that's where I commend the city of Chicago for what they put together. Kudos to the person that put this together and was like, this is a failed experiment. Like, literally, you're architecting this knowing it's probably not going to happen. but you're hoping that maybe the city of Chicago keeps your designs. It's such a cool design, lots and lots of cool pieces to it. But PayPal, I think it's safe to say that,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're
this is
going to
not-
Arlington. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's the business side of things, and it's like, do we even have enough space? Like Arlington Heights, it's a huge acres of land, so they have so much space to be able to do all this. And I guess too, with like the Disneyland experience, I keep thinking of like what would make that experience better. And it'd be kind of like people that live in Chicago. It's like, let's go to Arlington Heights. That's going to be like the almost like a vacation spot, I guess. They're not just staying in Chicago. They're going out somewhere else and getting this incredible experience, like Disneyland, and watching hopefully an incredible Chicago Bears team next, whenever this stadium is built. But this thing looks incredible. And I don't know about you, Brad. I'm still kind of anti, dome. I still would love to not have a dome, but I know that's just how the NFL is, and it makes sense, obviously, because then you can have, it's basically a venue rather than a stadium, so then you can have concerts, all that stuff. But I'm still like, I'm gonna miss my snow games. I'm gonna miss these, the rain game that we had earlier this season. I'm gonna miss all these season games that were so memorable. And sure, you only score like 1 or 2 touchdowns in these games, but they're fun to watch. They're different, and I'm gonna miss that.
Yeah, so let's change gears. So we're closing the book. We're saying, all right, nice try, Chicago, but we're moving this out, right? Like, we are not going to be in Chicago. Chances are, right? Because it's not a good business situation. Kevin Warren seems like, we've talked about it, that dude is a business guy. Like, hearing him talk, the guy, that he's not BSing you. He just seems like he knows his stuff, confident, and absolutely adore him. And that's where I think that they're moving out. So kind of touched on it. Let's build our perfect stadium. And for those listening, what's your wish list? Like, the people that are out there live, the chat, what's your wish list for the new stadium? Assuming it's out of Arlington Heights, that's the assumption, or it's out in Arlington Heights. What is your wish list? So let's start with the first one then. You kind of touched on it. So you are a no dome type of guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey, maybe you have a dome. You can just open it up and let the snow in. But hey, if you want to have a concert, we'll close the dome for it. We'll protect you guys, all that stuff. But we should keep football how it's supposed to be meant to be played, and, keep the weather with it.
Yeah, I'm right there. And I feel like such an old, like, curmudgeon being like, you got to play outside. But right. I love that. The Bills do it, right? The Bills do it. And I love the idea of the cold weather teams. And there is something to be said, even if you went to college in California, you're like, this is our home. It kind of adds that little dynamic. And I was like, do you do a retractable roof? Because I'm indecisive. And you're like, you open it up when Jared Goff comes to town and like the Rams and other things, like other people like that. But I'm kind of with you, unless, and again, I really like the glass dome that they put over the top of the new proposed plans. I think that looks sick. I like the glass on top, but if it's not, like, if it's truly just like a standard dome, I don't like that. I would prefer it to, and for business, I get if they went with a dome, but I personally would like, retractable if it's still out there. Like, if you can do it. I know that there's some, it's like, it's so expensive, just go with the dome. But I love the idea of a retractable, and I love the idea of just only doing it like to mess people up.
It takes away the home field advantage. I mean, like, this is the only sport where you can really get that home field advantage. Like we're playing in the snow, like against you guys. You know, if we're facing Miami, it's like, yeah, you got to come up here. It's 70 degrees where you guys, but you guys got to come to this, you know, below freezing weather. Hey, I don't, and with the retractable roof, I don't think money is an issue in this project.
Let's go.
I think they're just kind of like gonna do whatever. But yeah, it's and two, I'm not no like engineer or anything, but do they not have like roofs in these stadiums just because of like the weather and the snow? I mean, when I see that glass roof, I'm like, how is that supposed to hold up if they have a snowstorm? You know?
I agree. Yeah, like how do you do that? But I mean, the new Minnesota stadium that Kevin Warren was a part of, that's like all glass as well, and it's supposed to be amazing. So yeah, engineers, I'm a software engineer. I don't know how buildings work. So but yeah, I also like there's been a lot of comments out here too where I'll read some of these. Bears Bones saying, will they call it Soldier Field? I don't think they can, because I think it's part of the icon of Soldier Field. So I don't think they can. Brian Williams saying, off topic, but San Fran has a lot of QBs. Yes, they do, but they didn't have enough. I was rooting for San Fran. I wanted to see them win. I'm not a big Philly guy. I don't love it, but yeah, Lambeau Field is outside as well. Renewable saying the city should still do this to Soldier Field. Amen. Looks amazing. Jeremy saying retractable roof, like we were saying. Renewable for his wish list, tailgating, all local restaurants, retractable roof. Love it. Wide seats, Wi-Fi. Soldier Field should be a football scouting hub. Love that idea. College games, yes, like that would be amazing to actually have some games out there, slope into Lake Michigan. Like I'm loving the ideas. And yeah, retractable roof. Hey, one Taylor Swift concert will pay for that. Like just ask Steve Swizzle if she wants to come. We got that out there. We'll roll with the retractable roof. And PayPal, I got one on my wish list too that Renewable called out. I want tailgating. And it might be because we're from Wisconsin and I know that there's not a lot of tailgating. Like you go to Wrigley, tailgating is hopping to bar, right? It's different. And it's always funny because when my friends from Wisconsin that are Packer fans and grew up in Wisconsin go to a Chicago game, they're like, I hate it. There's no tailgating. Like have a flat parking lot that people can tailgate, people can have the camaraderie, people can have fun. And that is one of my, it sounds so dumb, like a flat parking lot. A flat parking lot that's perfect for tailgating. Got to have that game day atmosphere out there. So that's one of my big ones.
Yeah, I think like you could see that they tried to have a tailgating area in that stadium design, but something about tailgating outside where you bring your own stuff, like you're not going into the stadium where you're probably gonna have to pay for like to be able to play beanbags or like, you know, I always am thinking like a golf simulator. That'd be kind of cool in a stadium.
Yeah.
But
of course, you with the golf.
Yeah, but it I love that. I mean, I think you think of all the good I guess the good fan bases seem to have tailgating as like their big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bills, they're known for their tailgating. Kansas City is known for their tailgating. So, hey, I love that. Yeah, Green Bay. Yeah, they're good fans.
Yeah.
You know, they're Green Bay, but still.
Charlie Barron's not related to us, but like he has all these jokes about Packer tailgates. And yeah, it would be amazing. But I'm going to double up. I'm sorry if I'm taking another one, but I just remembered this because of you mentioned Miami. You know how Miami has like the like one side in the sun is like 20 degrees hotter. Just for when Miami comes, we should have like a drainage pipe of water that just, or like something that just screws them over. But or like you open up the roof so snow just falls on the other
Yeah, on that side.
not
Yeah,
us.
The
But
other side is complete clean.
also, I love what Jeremy Munoz said too. Roof should be etched with the bear symbol. I like that. I think that would be sick. But
Oh,
like,
I got
okay, pal, yeah, you go.
Oh, I got a good one. I love what the Kings did. I don't know if you've seen the Sacramento Kings. They
No.
have every time they win, they have it's just a purple light. I forgot what they call it exactly, but it's just a super bright purple light that they shoot into the sky, and it just signals that they
Dude.
won that day. So it's like, it motivates the team to win and like light the, just get the light going. So it's a
Yeah.
pretty sick light. So I was like, we should have something like that, like a light or a bear symbol, like
Yeah,
how it's
like
like a
a
bat symbol.
Batman, yeah.
Yeah, Batman thing, like a bear symbol, like whenever we win, or like Justin Fields' face in the sky.
Yeah, giant
Or
number
something
one.
like that. Yeah,
I
giant
like
number
that.
one.
I love that. I love that idea. So we got that. Let me add that in. Bat symbol. We're gonna add a bat symbol to it. We'll send this straight to Kevin Warren. Kevin Warren literally seems like the type of dude that if we sent this to him, he'd be like, "Those are all like a bear symbol? Yeah, I kind of like that."
All right, so good, yeah.
But also Renewable has more. The property, the entertainment district, the hotel area, the stadium, the field, etc., will all have corporate sponsorships. Yeah, I forgot. Bears Bones asked the question up top too. Yeah, the stadium is probably going to be something like, I don't know.
Hey, I'm fine. I'm fine with
Apple
that.
Field.
Though.
Yeah,
I
something
think,
like that.
I think that's another positive. I know we're trying to close the book, but like having that stadium go to Arlington Heights, we'll be able to maybe do something with Soldier Field and keep it as like a historical spot. Or I don't know what they would really do with it, but maybe keep it for, instead of tearing it down and renovating it and making it not the Soldier Field we know and love.
Yeah, and so my next one is the entertainment district. Like, have you been to, because yet again, we live in Wisconsin. Have you been to the Deer District?
Yes.
PayPal?
Oh,
like,
it's so cool.
Pfizer, I've been to so many Bucks games. It's amazing. The stadium's amazing. The entertainment district's amazing. I used to play in a band, and we played at Lambeau Field. They opened up that area just, I think, north of it, just above the stadium. And it's amazing because you just have an area where families, like, you could literally just go to the stadium and do something. You can just drive to the stadium. You can have bars. You can have restaurants. And I love everyone saying like Chicago food, right? You have the opposing team coming in. They want the Chicago experience, right? And they want to eat some real food, like have some local restaurants, some establishments. Heck, I'm even fine with food trucks, like, because every food tastes better out of a truck. That's a fact. I don't know what they do back there, but food truck food is the best food. I'd love to see a food truck stand. I'd love to see like a spot for concerts, like just basic concerts. Just something fun that people can do. Packers have a sledding hill. Maybe we have a sledding hill. Maybe we have something out there. Renewable saying Garrett's Popcorn. I like that. Jim, saying apparel shop called Sweetness. I like that. Like, that's where I think overall, and yeah, Soldier Field, historic landmark, not going anywhere. But yeah, like all that stuff. You have the entertainment district where you can just have fun, but also if you don't have tickets to the game, have outside viewing so people can just drink, have fun, be a community. Yeah.
And I think that's what we saw in these, in these newer plans where I don't think all this stuff has to be indoors. Like it seemed like that was the thing, like, make the tailgating indoors and all this stuff. Like, I don't know. Yeah, sure. You don't want to be in the snow, but you want to be in the snow. Like you want to be in the weather when you go to somewhere. Yeah. I'm not going to go to Chicago when it's snowing and be like, oh, this is such a fun game. Like, and not experiencing that weather.
And if you're barbecuing out there and like you got the grill going, like everyone's going to die.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, I think it's a perfect comparison with like the Deer
Yeah.
District and like that stuff where I went to one of those games and it's like $5 or whatever to be in those outside things. So if you can't afford to go and get a good seat, just come down and still be able to support the team that you love. It's an amazing idea.
Renewable saying underground parking. And maybe one of the things is you have two sides, right? Like you have one that you're indoors and it's like, yeah, maybe you do that. The people that just want to get in, get out, I just want to go to the stadium. And then the people that want to paint themselves up and at, negative 10 degrees and eat bratwurst and stuff, like those guys, like, let's all do that because it is fun. It's fun to like go out to a somewhere and it's just cold. But other
Mhm.
times too, like I have kids, and if I'm taking the kids to a game, I don't want to be like, we have to just get in the stadium as fast as possible so there's no crying like type of thing. Um,
So, Brad, you're looking for, baby changing stations. Make sure they have some good ones.
yeah, nice support.
Nice
In the men's
support
room.
in the men's room. Yeah, not just the women's room. Little play area for the kids.
Do you have another one? Because I have a big one for me.
This is a little one I'll just add.
Okay.
I really like, I think SoFi has this, where they have like kind of the luxury suite and it's like on the state, like on the, like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's like right in the first row of the stadium. So you're like, they're like on basically the field. And I just think that's a cool idea. Like I think they have like food that's brought to them, like that's like cooking right there and stuff like that. I just think that's a cool idea. And the Raiders, I know they have like a hot tub. I think the Chargers also do. They have like a pool in their stadium. Obviously,
Yeah.
that could maybe work, if we are doing the
An ice
the
rink.
dome. Yeah, but yeah, an ice rink maybe. It'll be a pool in the summer and then or in the fall and then like an ice rink in the winter.
Okay, I like that. Yeah. Let's add that on. Let's add an ice rink. I like the only problem I'd say, I just thought of that. Speaking of the cold weather, the snow piling up. You might not be able to see past it, right? Like the snow, you might be at level and you're like, I can't see over these drifts. But that's also another must have. It needs proper drainage. We need proper drainage, and that's gonna be key for sure. But I like that. There's Bone saying Astrodome was first glass roof stadium. I've been there. Super awesome. And also Ring of Honor. I like that suggestion, having the Ring of Honor of everybody on the outside. I like that. One that is key for me because, like I said, I want to get in, get out, but it not even just to the stadium. It's the infrastructure, and that's where they're going to be building this up. They've kind of talked about it. You need the infrastructure around the stadium so that people can just get in and get out. Yet again, I worked right across the street from Lambeau, actually worked with the Packers. I hate saying that, but I was a consultant and helped out. It is so easy to get to Lambeau Field during game day, during all sorts of things. Like you can it build up the stadium, build up the infrastructure so that wherever you're coming from, it's just super easy to drive to. There's not like a huge line. That's a big, big, big perk for moving out. Just to be able to get in, get out, makes it easier, makes it simple. Also, Brian Williams with the slope roof. I do love that. Maybe I'm because I love what they have with the US Bank Stadium, but I'm like, I don't want to steal it. Is there a way?
Yeah.
Is there a way that we could keep it? Like, do we do like
yeah,
like a half circle, or like, I'm trying to think because I love the idea of like something on the top that's just different. Like,
I know. Yeah, I really like the idea of having that glass roof and having like a Bears symbol and like it can like light up or something, Like I'm picturing like the aerial shots of the blimp or whatever, that's gonna be taking pictures of the stadium. I want to make it look cool.
Yeah, like if you have LEDs like in the glass roof,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it
like
could
in the
like,
grass. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Like
yeah.
at night, it's like, playing in whatever it's gonna be called, US Bank Stadium or something.
Yeah, US Bank
Um,
Stadium version 2.
Unbearable Sports Stadium.
Yeah.
And then yeah, and then it's gonna be the Chicago Bear or something. I think that'd be cool.
Oh, and also looks we got a live update. Looks like it's going to be Chiefs and Eagles
Oh
so
boy.
far. So yeah, that's yeah, and good thing I have money on the Chiefs, which I have on betus.com. That reminds me to do a little ad drop. You can use promo code unbearable so you can bet on the Chiefs. And yeah, 3 minutes left. Bengals on a drive. Oh, yeah, fourth down. So or maybe it was already a turnover because I just pulled it up on my phone. So little delay. Um, let's see other things. Renewable saying amusement park, NFL Carnival. I like that. Like just something in the entertainment district. But yeah, if you have an amusement park, that sets you apart. The big thing will be
Mhm.
like, what do you do in the winter? But I've been to what is it? Mount Olympus in the Wisconsin Dells. They have an indoor theme park. I mean, it's not like the
Mhm.
greatest thing in the world, but you can like potentially have something that wraps up because I remember because like I said, I played at Lambeau Field and we played at New Year's and they had like a bunch of popped up tents, right? Bunch of popped up tents. And what happened is with the pop up tents, they opened it up and it's the middle of January, like I said, or beginning of January, like I said, New Year's party. They open it up. I'm in probably literally this t-shirt and, in
Mm,
shorts, freeze, get sick the next day, just terrible sickness, but they
uh,
have tents. The whole point of the story of that is they have tents. And
eh,
I don't know how big of a tent you need for an amusement park, but that would be so cool. Yeah, indoor out like
yeah, it
they
would be
gotta go
cool.
big. It gotta go big.
Mhm.
Like, cause that would be you have your own little thing going on there. That is something that you can do throughout what you're
I'm thinking like, if it is amusement park or whatever, like we got rides that are like historical Chicago themed rides. Like, we get something that's like related to the fridge, whether that's like, you know, I don't know, something with the fridge, something with these like notable players, something where you maybe dance with like do the Super Bowl shuffle, you dance with like
yeah.
the virtual player, like do something like that, where it incorporates the Chicago Bears history. But then also it's like it has rides, it has these entertainment things that no other stadium has.
And I going up, I know Renewable kind of called this out like some hotels, right? Do you have hotel and Bears Bones literally just said it too. I scrolled up to see what Renewable said, then I scrolled down and Bears Bones said hotels as well. Yeah, like you have hotels, first off, for the players will be nice, but also just for people like out of town that want to stay there. Like imagine being from Buffalo. Like, yeah, we don't want them coming to our stadium, but still, it'd be really nice. Or Bears fans are all over the plate, all over the world. We have people from UK, shout out UK, India that are listening, and there's a bunch of other like global places that are listening to this show. We're everywhere. Like we are everywhere. So I could see people wanting to fly in, wanting to see what the Bears are up to, and that's awesome. And so,
Mhm.
um, yeah, but I thought of something too because we talked about Garrett's popcorn and other things like that. I'm making it mandatory that there's a Portillo's inside the stadium because there's a Chick-fil-A inside of the Fiserv Forum, and it's amazing. Just don't go on a Sunday, obviously. So you can't have that. Obviously, because the Bears play on Sunday. But I love the idea of like Portillo's. That to me is whenever someone like wants to get something, it's like you go to Portillo's, everything's good, everything's delicious, and might be a good thing to have out there. And when you have all these other options, that might be a nice indoor thing to have out there.
Yeah. I don't know how they would be able to do this, but it'd be cool if they somehow, yeah, like you said, with like food trucks or like get some more of like local Chicago area food places rather than these mainstream. Like, I know one of my friends, he obviously likes Portillo's, but he's always like, well, you can get a better beef from this place, or you can get a better hot dog from this place. Like, Portillo's isn't the best food in Chicago, you know? So I
Yeah.
wonder if,
Yeah.
I don't know how they would work it out, but yeah, like maybe it's through food trucks or whatever. Get these local businesses or whatever more involved.
And I've never had Harold's Chicken. That's what Renewable's saying. Al's
How's
Beef. Like,
beef? Yeah.
there's a lot of, oh man, I just looked up. Oh, Harold's Chicken looks delicious. I need to have this. I'm just like all this food now. I'm just like mouth drooling. I hope like people listening to this tomorrow, you're listening to it during lunchtime and eating some food, because all the different foods, like there's so much amazing food. You need to have deep dish. You need to have all sorts of things. Like, and it's just like we have so much, there's so much good food in Chicago. Let's bring it all together. And I remember I was visiting one of my friends down in Pensacola, and they had this cool little area where it was like you're going downtown Pensacola, and it was literally lined with food trucks. And then in the middle there's food trucks. It was just a food truck area. I
Hmm.
love the idea of like you just have food trucks out there that you can just swap in and out. And that would be just amazing, because then now you can just swap that out with all sorts of different pieces, all sorts of different foods. And yeah, we like, oh
Food,
man,
yeah, they taste so
hungry.
good, and yeah, they just there's something about food trucks and having, yeah, like that local. I am Skokes, agreeing. But it's like something about having that local food just makes it even more like personable with
Yeah.
like the community and the fans. Where I think that's really important is really being like, okay, like connecting with the community and the fans, and maybe might make it a little harder when you do go to Arlington Heights, and hopefully with the stuff they do in the plans, maybe uh that they can do something.
Yeah. I like that. And man, I just get so hungry. Like with all this food talk. And I think too, um, in a city in Wisconsin, I know they have a rule, and I know other places have this with their downtowns where it can't be a chain restaurant. I'm curious if you almost have that too, where it's just like it's purely just like local flair, and maybe, but still like the people that fly in, they want to try the other ones, but maybe you just have local stuff. You have, yeah, like there's so many ideas, but yeah, we're sticking on the food.
I,
Let's move on, because I am too hungry. I love the idea of a casino, a sports book. It is a racetrack, right? Like I think you have to have a sports book of some sort where people can just kind of go, like a sports bar. You have an age on it so that it's just adults only, kind of going out there. And I like the idea of that for sure. But another
mhm,
thing too, Brian's saying, how about a Chicago billboard, like the Hollywood sign? That would be kind of dope. Like
that'd
I
be kinda
think a
sick.
restaurant for sure. Like I love that look, that aesthetic. You got to also have like, that made me think of too, a section that's kind of that old-timey
Yeah.
Chicago,
Oh
like
yeah.
Al Capone type
Well,
of
it's like, well,
sense
yeah, when
to
you
it.
walk into a Portillo's, it's got that old fashioned, yeah,
Yeah,
it's got that
for
old
real.
fashioned music. It's got the old timey cars, signs,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah, that would be really cool. Like having like a street or something, you
Yeah.
know.
I
It,
I love it. I love it.
yeah.
There's so many good ideas and so many things. I've like jotting down as much as we have, but PayPal, do you have any other big ticket things out there?
Hey, yeah, maybe that golf simulator is a must for me. I think that'd be pretty,
Why would I got
a nice little golf simulator that we can, golf right before get a tee time and then go hit the Bears game. I think that'd be amazing. A nice 18-hole course on the side.
okay. Yeah, I like that. Well, you could do like the golf bars, like the
Yeah.
what, X golf, like something like that where people can just kind of chill, play some golf. Uh Virtual reality football, like that's a great suggestion.
Mhm.
something like that, just to kind of add that. Yeah. It just, there's the endless possibilities. But what I think what this is kind of showing is we want stuff outside the stadium, right? Like we want these attractions, like, because literally when you're in the stadium, we obviously want big jumbotron, right? It
Oh
seems,
yeah,
I haven't
huge.
seen the SoFi one, but people are saying that's incredible. You're not going to go bigger than Jerry World. So I think like you try and copy that whole SoFi Stadium, that ring that goes around, do something
Mhm.
like that. Seems like that's the way of the future. Um, but one other piece too, super, super underrated, outdoor places. Because Fiserv has this, and there's one spot that you can just step outside. It's like a bar. You can step outside and have a beer. And low key, it's amazing because you're indoors, and sometimes it's good to just literally step outside, get a breath, and come back in and just
Mhm.
see everything that's going on. And it's like a perfect view of the Deer District. I think that would be really cool if you could, just a normal person that's not spending all this money on sweet tickets, that you can just grab a beer, go out there
Mhm.
and see outside and like just admire what has been built.
I agree.
So yeah. But yeah, yeah, Bears Bones saying any suggestions for the name of the new stadium? And I agree with Jeremy. Name to the highest bidder. That to me is going to be what it's going to be down to. Everything, unfortunately, is named to it. I just hope it's not guaranteed rate field. Like, I no offense, Sox fans. It's like the cell was so cool, and like it's I miss the cell. It should be the cell. Guaranteed rate. It's just like your
Yeah,
name
it's
is
too
so,
much.
yeah, you just it's so accounting. It's so financial. Like it's
Mhm.
not cool.
Not cool.
You need something cool. You need something awesome. Um, and that's where also SoFi is so cool. The name SoFi is pretty cool. So hopefully it's like a tech company.
Yeah.
Or like an up and coming tech
Or
company.
like
Open AI. There we go. It's the open AI field. we got chat bots running crazy. That's what it's gonna be. So I'm trying to think of anything else that really stands out. Open seat, like open air spots,
Yeah, leather
retractable roof
seats, heated seats,
seats,
no,
Wi-Fi.
just couches in the stadium instead of just
Yeah, it's just life of luxury.
like the dream loungers they have in like
Oh,
movie
God.
theaters. That would be sick.
I feel
But
like that's the sweet dream loungers where you're
for
like,
everyone.
yeah, it'll be interesting. But one other thing too.
Oh, that's sick. I
What?
what Renewable said, the outdoor exercise area with the replica of the Hill Sweetness train on. I think that would be
That
really see,
that's a
that's
good
where
idea.
like I was saying before, I think that'd be so cool having, yeah, something like that where it's like
Yeah.
these iconic Bears memorabilia, like historical kind of like, but you make it into a like amusement type sort of thing. So it's like something you can do or bring your kids to, whatever.
Yeah, I love that idea. I think that's super cool because then that's also like people would run up it, people would like take pictures on it, and also statue of Walter Payton as long as it's approved by Walt by Walter's family because they brought it. I heard there's an interview with Jarrett Payton and they asked him, and he's like, I guess I've never really thought of that because his statue's in front of Soldier Field. It's the house that Walter built. And it's
Yeah.
hard because he played there. And I think it's ultimately going to be like Kevin Warren's got to ask, hey, do you want us to move it? Otherwise, if it's in front of Soldier Field, like it's not any of our decisions. I think it's ultimately up to Walter's family because if they want that there, I think it's okay to just be like, it's there. It's not going anywhere, but it also brings back the memories. And they'll be like, what was this? Well, back in the day, well, the great Walter Payton
Yeah,
played at
exactly.
in this stadium. So I think it's going to be up to them, and because he's going to be honored some way, somehow. Like it, and that's the thing too. There's so much history. And reminder, a Hall of Fame center. Because
Yeah.
that's what the Packers had. The Packers have a gift shop, a Hall of Fame, and people go to that all the time because they want to just look to see what's going, like
The
understand the
past, yeah.
history of the Bears. And that's a huge cash cow for the Green Bay Packers. So, trying to think of anything else though.
Yeah, that's all I got. I mean, I was gonna say cheese curds, but that'd be more Wisconsin.
that's us.
Hey, bring cheese curds to Wisconsin.
They're delicious. They're delicious. Like, yeah, just not on Packer Week, or it's like you put hot sauce or something. I've never had cheese curds with hot sauce, but it'd probably be delicious. I've had it with Chipotle mayo. So yeah, you kind of put it like cheese blood, that we're gonna.
I see.
Yeah. But another interesting piece, because I know that they have this with like Fiserv, but it's because it's more downtown. Maybe you have living down there, like rather than just the hotels, there's some apartments or something that, because it's a nice spot. But that to me is at the very, very bottom list of everything. Drone delivery. Now we're talking renewable. That would be amazing. Like you literally just beep it in and then just a drone comes with your food. I like that. I like, because then I don't have to get up. just gotta chill, relax.
That would be sick. They just come from like the top and they just kind of come in and like swoop down with your food.
The only thing is it's really got to be protected, because I could see fans after like 8 drinks
trying to grab them. Yeah.
Just chucking stuff at it. Like it's holding like 4 beers. It's driving out and people are just chucking stuff, beer flying everywhere. I mean, that'd be kind of fun, but if you
oh gosh, we're not bringing you to the stadium, Brad. You're gonna
I'm not gonna do it. I'm just saying, if I'll say Philly fans, right? They boo Santa Claus, they'll take out our drones carrying beer. In the Midwest, if you knocked over those beers, that's alcohol abuse, and you get years in prison for that up here. So no one can do that, but still, we came up with some awesome ideas, and we were talking about this before PayPal. We're like, this is gonna be like less than 30 minutes. 47 minutes later, we got some awesome ideas. And I'm hungry. I'm staring at chicken right now. I'm literally going to go upstairs, see if we have some chicken strips or something, and make some chicken, because man, I am hungry.
I'm gonna finish my sardine surprise, Brad.
Oh God, yeah. For the people that don't know, I went over and Johnny PayPal's making sardine surprise. He's making sardines and just cooking them. But hey, you said they're good for you, so
they're good. Yeah, good source of protein, healthy. Get those omega-6s in there, omega-3s too. All that good stuff.
I didn't even know that they made an omega-6, but yeah, I learned something new every day. Hey, we're in a recession. You can eat your sardines anytime you want. But let's and last little thing, Samurai Singletary Sushi. I like the idea of that. But yeah, so we got retractable roof, flat parking lot to be able to tailgate, the bat symbol, the bear symbol going up, entertainment district. Make sure to build that big. Got so many ideas, but everyone, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment. It helps the show out tremendously. And with that, Unbearable Sports Podcast, we're out.
Yeah, she's got some nice long hair, and you know that she's a